Call me so I can get it juicy for you. Shawty on that let me ride it out.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring this up. Like, even just change the channel, putting the channel on 49, and watching all those music videos with all those girls shaking their ass and woohoo.
Yeah.
And it's just like all those girls have like lighter skin. You never see any like dark skin girls in any music videos or whatever, right?
901, matter of fact 305, I'll jump off the G4, we can meet outside. So control your hormones and keep your drawers on.
For a while now, Mujinga and I have been talking about women of color and how we are represented in the media. We looked through some magazines featuring black and brown women, and Mujinga was stunned.
Show the magazine, man.
What the fuck is this? Are you serious? Ew, this is disgusting. Do you guys see this?
Here, she is looking at one cover featuring actress Vivica A. Fox. We noticed the obvious. Vivica's skin had been airbrushed, her blemishes were all gone, and her hair was perfect. But what was most disturbing to us is how light she looked, much unlike the Vivica we'd seen before.
No one's skin looks like this. Seriously, people, stop lying to yourselves.
Again, we were reminded that whenever we do see women like us in the mainstream media, they're often made to look nothing like us.
When did you first realize, or when do you think you first experienced it in any way?
I think that the first time I really realized that people are different colors and that we should be aware of that type of thing maybe, or people are conscious of it, is when I moved from Trinidad to Canada, so about 3 years of age. It wasn't the color of my skin, but it was my hair. Girls would be brushing their hair, and I'd be like, oh, I want to do that too, you know? And they had like, you know, blonde, long kind of hair, and I'd be like, okay. So I'd take the brush and try and brush mine, and it would get stuck in there. And I would walk home with the brush stuck in because I couldn't get it out. It wasn't this tame when I was younger. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I just want to be like those girls.
I think I'm like 7 shades of brown, to be honest.
Yeah,
like here, like I remember being in gym class when I was in grade 7 in Brampton, and I was in gym class and I had to take off my shirt, and there was like all these guys there, and I had to take off my shirt because like all this stuff spilled down here, right? And after the guy's like, this one guy is so stupid, I hate him so much. He's like, oh my gosh, why are your breasts so light skinned?
Whoa!
And I'm like,
because the sun doesn't hit them. Idiots.
and it's like, and like that has stuck with me for so long.
I have a gym story too, where I had to like take off my pants, and then my bum gets darker right here, and then someone was like, "Ew," what? And it was a black girl too. Ew. Why does your bum cheek get so black? And I was like, I don't know. And it was so sad for like 10 years.
After discussing the issue as a group, the question then became, how do we move forward? One woman in this group is already moving from discussion straight into education.
All right, who would like to start?
Amanda is the co-founder and executive director of Lost Lyrics, an alternative education program that works with young people of color in the Malvern and Jane and Finch neighborhoods of Toronto.
But skin tone and shadeism and all of these types of conversations are stuff that they never ever talk about, and really have it entrenched in their minds that to the degree that they don't even identify it, that certain things are considered ugly, which is darker, and certain things are considered more beautiful, which is lighter.
Along with her co-founder Natasha Daniel, Amanda uses hip-hop culture as an inspiration and tool to break down the images, pressures, and issues faced by young people of color. One way in which they do this is by looking at the roots of beauty ideals, including those related to skin color.
I don't necessarily know what it means to move through this world as a dark-skinned black woman, but I can talk about what it means to move through this world as what is considered a light-skinned black woman, and like how that messes up your mind and how that can make you think that you hold power over certain spaces, and then to know that that light skin still doesn't give you enough power to move through other spaces. You know, like, because the little girls look up to us and they'll be like, oh, you're so pretty, I wish I could look like this, or I wish I could look like that, but it's not always coming from a place of like celebration. It's more coming from a place of feeling like they're lacking or missing something.
Midway through the filming of this documentary, I was invited by Amanda and Natasha to watch a play with Lost Lyrics. It was a new piece of work by writer and actor Debbie Young. Going in, I thought I was just watching a regular play. Little did I know that she'd be discussing exactly what the documentary was about: skin color.
It was here at Buddies in Bad Times Theater that we saw Debbie's play called She. It related strongly to the issue of shadism and brought up topics of both skin color and bleaching. After the show, Debbie invited us to a new show in Ottawa. Needless to say, 2 weeks later, we were in the car and on our way.
After the show in Ottawa, Debbie invited us all to a talkback. Though we weren't able to film during the play, we were able to film this discussion following it. We came together in a circle, and as soon as we sat down, it seemed like everyone had something to share. Once again along my journey, a discussion was taking place.
Jamaican, so I grew up with it, right? Yeah. It's like you've been given a whole fucked up legacy, right? Like you've been told your whole life that your people are shit, your people are dumb, your people lived in trees, your people, your people are poor, your people were slaves, and I mean you hear this over and over and over. Your people are ugly, over and over and over and over again. Like you're saturated with this self-loathing. Everywhere we look, we're being encouraged to dumb ourselves down. Don't act as smart as you are. Don't let people know that you're as smart as you are. Are you for real? Don't be brilliant. Don't be brilliant. Don't stand out. Don't seek the truth. Don't look for truth, because all of that is gonna land you in trouble, and on top of that, nobody's gonna like you. So just ease yourself. Ease yourself and just blend in.
Though Debbie didn't talk to the group specifically about skin color, she did speak of the significance of sharing our stories, of challenging what we've been taught and changing our ways of thinking. This gave further proof to my own belief that when it comes to addressing issues like shadism, the first step is always coming together and asking questions.
There's strength in each of us, our skin tones included. And after centuries of trying to change ourselves, of trying to blend in, trying to be accepted, I think the time has come for us to collectively challenge the idea that beauty only comes in one form. As women of color, we deserve to share our stories, especially if they'll help us surpass our struggles. We don't have to blend in to become beautiful, and we can refuse to carry on this legacy that we never asked for nor cared for.
The way I feel about it is one that this is a 1,000-year-old debate, and I can't believe it's still going on today. But then on the other side is that people are still resisting, and that way long after I die, this fight will still be continuing in my country and back home and everywhere else in the world. But the fact is that we still have to keep on pushing. It makes me feel like there are people that are trying to educate our community about it, and now what is my part to play in taking the message that I've learned, that I've been privileged enough to hear, and taking that back now to folks and teaching it.
I hope that for Manusha and her generation, they continue to discuss this issue, to stand up, to share their stories, and to imagine new ways of moving forward. My desire is to somehow make the struggle of shadism easier on them than it was on us.
I like your hair. Your eyes are hurting. The sun.
And hopefully they won't have to hide from the sun the way we have for far too long.